Good morning, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin-yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Tuesday, January 3rd, around 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 2023. Haha, I got that right. Huge coronal mass ejection off the back of the sun. This is no threat to Earth, but the sunspot that created it, or sunspot group, will be Earth-facing in a few days. The big story, UAH satellite-based temperatures are in for December, and the Earth has been cooling for 7 years. Keep calm. It's boom time. Dr. Roy Spencer's website shows the current December reading at just 0.05 degrees C above baseline with an average drop-off since 2016. That means it's getting colder around here. Storm hitting California on Wednesday may be worse than the New Year's deluge. A powerful atmospheric river arriving Wednesday will add several inches of rain to an already saturated region as a major winter storm threatens powerful tornadoes and flooding in the south and heavy snow and freezing rain across the plains in the Midwest. And that winter storm has been named Hudson, spreading snow and ice and strong winds into the upper plains. We'll get to the forecast in just a minute. But that first round of atmospheric rivers, California flash flooding kills 2 and submerged highways and smashed previous records. That is amazing. Let's take a look. Here we got appears to be water rescue. Someone's sitting on top of their car there. Very low resolution, unfortunately. But it's a sign of things to come because more flooding and rain is forecast for California. We'll get to that in just a moment. Snow falls in parts of El Paso on Monday. Holy macaroni, and heads up, current road closures across the 10. Take a look at this. Yesterday in Wyoming, whiteout conditions and many roads closed, including Wyoming 139 and Wyoming 135. And heavy snow even caused some Utah ski resorts to close. Now, we're over here at the snowfall analysis for the last 72 hours, and you can see where that heavy, deep snow is. Could be up to 6 feet or more in this dark region. It just goes off the chart at greater than 3 feet. And also up here in northern Utah, massive snows. We did all right down here and certainly dodged a bullet. Southern storms is the forecast. Midwest wintry travel hazards, another western atmospheric river event. And we'll get to that forecast in just a second. Severe storms may produce tornadoes. Some strong, damaging winds, hail, and heavy to excessive rain will continue to move across the deep and mid-south. A swath of heavy snow, sleet, and ice will impact travel from the central plains to the upper Midwest. Heavy snow continues for many western counties, and especially in the high mountains here. Another atmospheric river event will develop midweek across California and last for days. So here are your severe weather threats down in the southeast. Winter storm watches and warnings from Nebraska, kiss my, all the way up through Minnesota and Wisconsin. So heads up and over to the forecast. Here we can see where that center of low pressure is, and the heavy snow on the back end of that's going to be moving up into Canada and pushing a system into the northeast. We're going to check that snowfall totals. But here you can see tomorrow, the next atmospheric river is going to be making landfall here in California and rapidly turning into some severe weather here Thursday into Friday, and then another system Sunday, Monday. Can you see that? Heavy rain and flooding is going to be forecast for Northern California over the coming days, and that's going to mean mudslides and mud floods and potentially loss of life and loss of power. Here are the snowfall totals, and it's looking like it is going to be deep. Here is your Wednesday totals through Thursday. So that system is going to move its way by Thursday morning through the upper Midwest here, dropping up to 16 inches of snow for southern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin as heavy snow moves into northern California and the Sierras at that time. You can see that heavy snow piling up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, where we could see another 4 feet of snow on top of 6 feet already. And that will be the 10-foot total. We also have some activity here in the east coming in this weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, January 7th and 8th, could be some activity in the northeast. And on the long term, well, it's snowy in the west. That's the best. Coming over to Europe and this heat wave that they're talking about, it's barely 55 degrees in Europe. So Not much of a heat wave, and that is about to come to an end with temperatures rapidly dropping over the next week or so and heavy snow moving back into the Alps as the entire European region, well, drops below zero. Let's take a look at some of those snowfall totals as they fall in the UK and the Alps and continue through January 10th through the 15th. Heavy snow coming to the Alps, and they need it, but they're going to get it. Take a look at these totals in southern Norway. And even heavy totals in Sweden. Greta's boyhood home. Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! Just thought I'd throw one of those out there. Controversial prediction site claims massive earthquake, 7.0 or higher expected at any moment. The site predicted a 7 magnitude will hit California in the next 48 hours. It's already been 24 or more, so there's that. We can come check the USGS. Nothing going on in Cali, so we've got countdown to mayhem. Just 24 hours left till the supposed 7 point. And I did get a lot of messages, people claiming that a big one's going to hit California, and I didn't know why until I checked the interwebs. And the giant freaking robot told me what was going on. What say you? Do you think it's going to happen? Worldwide volcano news update. Oh, let's check out the rest of seismicity. There had been a slight uptick here in the western portion of the Ring of Fire, but nothing significant. A bunch of 5 magnitude activity, and some of it, not much of it at depth, so nothing really to worry about. There has been massive amounts of activity at the mid-ocean ridges, here at Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and down here at the Pacific, at the Bellini Islands and the Pacific Rise, or whatever they call that. So the Earth is swelling. Worldwide volcano news update. A bunch of activity going on, including Etna, Stromboli, Fuego, Popo, Krakatau, Ibu, Reventador, Sakurajima. Let's scroll down the list. Here we have Etna outpouring lava flow from space. And Stromboli volcano in Italy, lava flow increases. We also have some spectacular footage from Popocatépetl in Mexico. Summit cone with glowing lava bombs and spectacular lenticular cloud above. Take a look at that in black and white. Beautiful. Gorgeous even. And a large eruption of plasma is visible following an event behind the East Limb early Tuesday morning. It looks to be responsible for the extreme slow rise in the X-ray background levels. And the picture, well, is phenomenal. This blast, had it been facing Earth, could have led to a few issues. And here we will take a look at it on LASCO C3, blasting out a little bit more than 110 degrees from Earth facing. And here, the bigger reveal on LASCO C2. And it'd be nice if we just slowed this down to give you a nice look at that plasma that's being ejected. Oh, I could have just stepped it through. Let's try that. There it is. All right, let's step this baby through. Now, what's unique about this is there's very little plasma in the middle and a lot of it on the two. See that? Pretty interesting. So might not have been that big of an event at Earth because this is the only plasma that would have come towards us here. But a huge eruption blasting off the backside of the sun. Boom! Look at that. Let it run through a few times. Boom. Big event. So that sunspot's going to be coming towards us. You see it here modeled on the ISWA Cygnet streamer. And they are showing quite a bit of a plasma front. It gets white there. And it's headed out there towards Venus. Yes. It's going to be hitting Venus first. On its way to Jupiter. So here we are, and you can see that big mounding up there. That was the event off the backside. I wonder if this secondary mound that just occurred is another event from that same sunspot array. And so that is coming from the south down here, and that is behind the limb, behind 3181, and will be turning around into sight soon. And there they have the eruption. KP is low, and we are expecting some geomagnetic instability over the next 2 days, potentially due to this coronal hole. But what I want to bring your attention to is an update here that came out on the fact that the new numbers came out for solar cycle 25, and a lot of people are like, see, I told you so. The reality is that solar cycle 25 is weaker than 24 still, and we're getting the information directly from solon.info. Here's that spike that brings us up to 110 in the third year of the cycle. So here's the beginning of the cycle. We're at the third year in the first month. If we come over the third year in the first month on cycle 24 had already spiked to 140 by this time. So 25 is only at 110, and at this time in 24, it had already spiked to 140 sunspots. So we could see this go a little higher towards 140 perhaps in the next update, but we would expect 25 and 24 to be quite similar. And as of now, 3 years into the sunspot cycle, cycle 25 is weaker than 24 by about 20%. And those are the facts. Now, stories coming out over the interwebs everywhere blaming agriculture on the next mass extinction. It's crazy. I'm sure you've heard of it. And a lot of the claims are extremely scary, like this one. There is only 2% of big fishes that were in the oceans 50 years ago. That's a blatant lie. 2% of the big fishes that were in the oceans 50 years ago, yet we're harvesting more fish than ever before. And only 2% are living. And here's another lie. We have lost 70% of all the animals that were on the planet since 1918. We have lost 70% of all the animals that were on the planet, including birds, all gone since 1918. And these are some of the claims that are coming out from the globalist factory, like the WEF and the UN. But have we really wiped out 70 in this 60% of animals? No, not even close. Not even 1/100th of that. It's a staggering lie. Because what they did is they just picked 4,000 species that were in decline. They cherry-picked the 4,000 species that were the weakest, which covers just 6.4% of all the vertebrates in the world. So they lied using statistics and using less than 6.4% of the animals that exist. Completely embarrassing. Yet all the people, all the globalists and the warmists and the climate alarmists will gobble this up without looking for the truth. As 1/3 of the world's economy is expected to be in recession in 2023, people are talking about statistical lies, how all the species are dead. Well, there's going to be one species that's soon going to be dead, and that's people. The 130-foot asteroid to come scarily close to Earth today probably won't hit us, though. But there is new news that strangely strong interstellar meteorites may come from supernova. And the suns, as they explode, accelerate these objects out of their solar system and, well, maybe into ours. And we just did an awesome LiDAR reveal on a newly discovered massive city complex, almost 1,000 villages and cities found in the Guatemala jungle using LiDAR. And we blew the minds off of thousands of people that have watched it so far. We'll link you that video after this. But that is not the only spot that's been detected. In fact, at least 5 completely new unknown civilizations that were hiding in plain sight have been revealed in just the last few years. The 2,000-year-old Mayan civilization in Guatemala we covered the other night. And so that will be linked after this video. Check it out. But that's not all. They found a nearly 500 long-lost Maya and Olmec ceremonial sites in Mexico. Look at the size of these complexes. This is near Tabasco. Look at the size of the platform that the pyramid was on. And they found 61,000 previously unknown structures hidden under the dense Guatemalan jungle that were not the Mayan city we showed you, but are certainly spectacular. They also found 81 earthworks, including fortified villages and roads deep into the Amazon forest. And overgrown ancient civilizations buried in the Bolivian Amazon. So, there is a lot to be revealed, and 2023 is going to be a spectacular year for the boom. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people, and be safe. We love you. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. We love you.